Welcome to A-Level and AP Physics, a place where you can improve your understanding of physics with confidence. In today's lesson, we will talk about AC and rectification from Cambridge A2 Physics. And in this video, we will only focus on past paper questions. If you are struggling with past paper questions and you don't know how to answer them, then watch this video carefully to improve your conceptual understanding and to get ready for coming exams. This question is about ideal transformer. As you can see here, number of turns on the primary coil are given to us. We have 5000 turns on the primary coil and primary voltage is given. Its RMS value is given and secondary voltage is also given, but its value is peak value. Peak value of secondary voltage is given. What we need to find out, we need to find the number of turns on the secondary coil. Now, how we can answer this? Let's try to understand a little bit about transformer first of all, and then try to answer this. This is our iron core, and let's say here is primary coil. So this is primary coil. So here is primary power source, and we can say its voltage is Vp, and number of turns on this one we can say Np. Here is our secondary coil. Secondary coil, let's say this is the output. We can say the output will be Vs and this will be Ns. Number of turns on secondary coil. Now we understand is a very simple relationship that Vp over Vs is equal to Np over Ns. So in this case we need to find Ns, so simply we can say that this will be Vp Np divided by Vp. So we just need to plug in values, but only problem in this question is that one value is RMS value and one is peak value. So you can see here this is Vp. So one value is RMS. I can simply say this is RMS value, and the other one is the peak value. For Vs, we can also label like this. We have one value can be RMS, another value we can also calculate peak value. But what we need to plug in here? So very simple principle. If we are using RMS value for the primary voltage, we also need to use the RMS value for secondary voltage. So RMS we need to use. Otherwise, if we are using the peak value, of primary voltage, we also need to use the peak value of secondary voltage. So this is the only point what we need to understand, and then we can find our final answer. So this is how we can find our final answer. So just need to plug in values, that's all. And so here I have calculated for you. So you can see here, first of all, in this question, I have converted the peak value. So this is the peak value of secondary voltage. I have converted into RMS value, means I just divided peak value. If you are not clear about this concept, this is from alternating current AC chapter. So this is simply means V peak. The peak value you have to divide it by root of 2, and then we just plug in values. So our final answer for this part is 138 turns on secondary coil. Here is our part B, and part B simply we need to complete this rectifier circuit. As you can see, this is given, but this is incomplete. We have to complete this one. For part A, simply we need to use diode symbols and we need to complete this. But one thing more we need to keep in mind is that terminal A of the resistor is positive with respect to terminal B. What exactly it means? It simply means that current is entering from A. A is positive. It simply means the current has to enter from A side. So we can say this will be positive and this will be negative. For part B2, simply we need to use symbol for capacitor across the resistor to reduce the ripples in the potential difference. Simply, we need to complete the circuit using symbols for diodes and symbols for capacitor. So let me show you the answer first of all, and then I will explain to you this. So as you can see here, I have already drawn this circuit for you. So you can see the capacitor is connected here. So this is a typical question. Always you have to connect capacitor across resistor to reduce ripples. So we can say the purpose of this one is to reduce ripples. Next slide we will see more about ripples, or we often call this one smoothing. So it's the same meaning. So you can see here, if you look at these diodes, you will see kind of a similarity. For example, at this point, if we see, you see these diodes, they are converging to this end. And these two diodes, they are also converging to this end. So the side where they converge, that is connected with positive side. This is connected with positive side. And so I can say this side where these diodes converge, we connect this one with positive. And the other opposite end, we connect with negative. And the remaining two terminals, they are connected with power supply. So this is the idea you need to understand. If you understand this one, then it's very easy to complete rectifier circuit. Means where they connect that side with positive. That's all. Other side with negative, and remaining two terminals with power supply. Let me explain to you a little bit more about bridge rectifier circuit, how to sketch them. So as you can see here, we have the next circuit here. In this circuit, if you look at this one, this side, if we start from here, these diodes, they are converging to this end. So simply you can draw these arrows like this. You can see they are converging at this side, at this end. So this end has to be connected with positive. So here it is connected with positive, means the current is entering from this side. If this one is resistor, so the current will enter from this side. And the other side we have to connect with negative. As you can see here, we have connected with negative. So this is how you need to sketch. And the remaining two terminals we have to connect with power supply. So as you can see here, we have connected with power supply. So this is the main idea, how to sketch bridge rectifier circuit. So let's look at some more examples now, so you can understand this concept even better. As you can see here, in this case again we have 4 diodes and there is one capacitor. So if you look at these diodes, how they're connected in bridge rectifier circuit, so this is called bridge rectifier circuit. So let me write down here if you're not clear about its name. So this is bridge rectifier, and we use this one for full wave rectification. So this is used for full wave rectification. So full wave rectification. So if you look at these two diodes, you can see they are converging to this side, this end, and these two, they are also converging to this end. So this end has to be connected with positive. As you can see here, in this case, this is connected with positive. And the other side has to be connected with negative, as you can see here. And the remaining two terminals has to be connected with power supply, as you can see this. So this is how we can sketch. For part C, as you can see here, it is given to us how the potential difference across the resistor is changing with time. So we have potential difference on y-axis and time is on x-axis. For C1, simply we need to state the interval of time when the capacitor is charging. From here, as you can see, the potential difference across the resistor is decreasing in this interval of time, or we can say here. So in this interval of time, as the potential difference across resistor is decreasing, we can say capacitor is discharging here. And if you look at the next interval of time, you can see the potential difference is increasing. So in this interval of time, the capacitor will charge. Capacitor will charge. So this is what we need to state. So simply we can say the capacitor is charging between T1 and T2. And also here we can say capacitor is discharging, here capacitor is charging, and here again it is discharging, and here is charging, and again discharging, and so on. So the time interval from T1 to T2. So this is answer. This is how simply we can answer this question. So here is our answer. And also this circuit is coming from part B. So let's move on to C2 now. For C2, the resistance of the resistor is double, mean we increase the resistance of this resistor. And now we need to sketch the variation with time t of potential difference V across the resistor, mean how potential difference across resistor will change if we increase its resistance. For this one, we need to understand something we call is a time constant, and time constant is equal to RC. So it means if we increase the resistance of the circuit, the time constant will increase. If the time constant increase, it simply, so it will take longer time. So simply we can say it will take longer time to discharge. Longer time to discharge, another way we can also say it will discharge slowly, mean its potential difference will decrease slowly, discharge slowly. So this is the point what you need to understand. If we have understanding of this one, then we can sketch. So let's try to answer this one now, how we can sketch. So here is our answer. As you can see here, now I have sketched for you. You can see when the time constant is greater, means it discharges slowly. The potential difference also will decrease slowly across capacitor. As you can see, this value is greater than the previous value. It means this is discharging slowly. Discharge slowly. And this is true for all the values. If you compare these 2 points, you can see potential difference is greater. If you compare this point, potential difference is also greater if we increase the resistance of resistor. So this is how we can answer this question, and this question is kind of typical question, very common in A2 physics. I hope you have better understanding about this type of questions now.